What's up, everybody? Trad West podcast here. Well, this week we're going to talk about OnlyFans thoughts and simps, I guess, because the past couple weeks, this I don't know OnlyFans chick has been making the rounds on the internet. If you haven't heard of her yet, Lily Phillips, going viral for her like sleeping with 100 guys in 24 hours, and her next challenge, if you will, 1,000 guys in 24 hours. And I've been wanting to talk a little bit about this for a little bit now, but seeing her get all this, notoriety now over this challenge she just did, banging 100 dudes in 24 hours, has gone viral, of course. And I figured, okay, we better talk about it because it's a problem. It's a problem in society. Um, and I hate on, OnlyFans thoughts and feminists a lot. But I'm gonna hate on the simps too. Because look, let's get this part out of the way first, okay? These girls would not be able to make any of this money, this easy, fast money, doing OnlyFans and other type of porn, whatever, cam work, if loser simp dudes were not paying for it. So ultimately, I do blame the dudes. You're losers if you pay for a girl's OnlyFans. Straight up saying it. Porn is, not good, but hey, there's plenty free out there. Why are you paying to watch some random thought on OnlyFans for $5.99 a month or whatever they're charging? And so let's get that out of the way first. I am hating on the men that do it. I'm not just it's the women. No. The men are losers that are paying for it. But this goes into our whole problem of dudes, build some confidence. Go work out. Okay? Like the fact that you're just willing to pay for this is kind of ridiculous. I don't know why it's so popular. The only thing I can think of um, is they think it's more like a girlfriend experience because you can message the girl, but it's coming out, especially the girls that make a bunch of money doing it. It's not even them really responding to the messages. So, in all likelihood, you think you're intimately talking to this chick on OnlyFans, it could be some random dude getting paid money to message you back. And that doesn't prevent these fucking losers from doing it and joining in. So I'm just going to disclaimer out there. If you ever paid for an OnlyFans, you're a loser. You're a simp. I will never pay for it. Never would. Never will. And it's a problem in society. As I've talked about in previous episodes, a lot of single people not having babies, not getting married. And the porn industry and OnlyFans is like $1 billion industry now. I think I saw something that said like OnlyFans profits have surpassed like a lot of the male professional athlete salaries, like total combined. Um, and the way that the media pushes it and feminists push it. So let me take my swipe at feminism here real quick before we get into talking more about it. Because, those of us that are online, we're kind of, and younger, we're kind of aware, like my parents' generation. I doubt my parents, if you watch this, mom and dad, I doubt you realize how bad it's gotten and how bad it is. Like, they probably don't even understand what OnlyFans really is, how popular it's become, how much money these thoughts are making. Um, and it's promoted. And the problem is, it's being promoted, and some of these girls are being, fed false hope. Oh my God, I can make so much money doing this. And a lot of girls are doing this, doing themselves on camera or doing other people on camera or posting naked pictures, whatever they do. Like some do solo stuff, some do, actual porn type stuff on it with a partner. Some of these girls aren't even making enough to like pay their bills, like a couple $100 a month, maybe. That is like, it's bad and degenerate altogether. But at least if you were making like $20,000 a month or something or more, and you're making millions a year, like some of these chicks are, you could kind of justify it. Like, not saying it's right, but you could kind of justify it. Like, hey, this is how much money I'm making. If you're doing this shit and you can't even pay your bills, get the fuck off and go work a fucking real job. You all should, but if you like to put yourself through that, doing people on camera, doing yourself on camera, the internet is forever. Um, Putting yourself through that, you're probably not going to be able to find a guy. Probably not going to live the life you maybe wanted to, get married, have kids, have a happy family, kumbaya, live forever and ever. Guys aren't going to be interested in you anymore, any more than just using you as a sex object, because that's what you have sold yourself as. This is this is why I was going to hate on feminists here. Feminists like to try to say, "Hey, man, you need to treat us as your equals. We're not just some sex object." What's the profession they're out there promoting for women to do? Onlyfans. Be a sex object. We don't care. It's empowering women. Go get plowed on camera and get paid by losers, simpy guys all day. It's empowering. But hey, outside of her work, you better not view her as a sexual object. She's a woman too. She's a woman. She's powerful. She's important. No. If you're selling yourself as a sex object in your daily life, that is how you will be treated by society. Nobody respects sex workers. Point blank, period. And I'm not going to say years to come down the line, these women won't be able to find some loser simp that'll fucking marry them because, they can't get women. They're the type that are paying for it. But guess what? It's not the type of dude that these chicks are gonna ideally want. And that dude had to wait and wait until she's just used damaged goods, used and abused, and, not only and probably spent most of her money. Most of these women stay in it because it's fast money. And when you make fast money, you gotta keep getting it. And a lot of them turn to drugs and that. Why? Because it's not really the human. We're not meant to do this type of shit. Okay, especially on this one that I'm gonna get to here in a little bit. I don't usually play clips on the long form episodes, but I'm gonna do it this time for some of these clips I got because you can just see, and they won't admit it, but you can just see in the aftermath the regret and the depression setting in and the guilt and the, you know, hating herself ultimately. Um, but yeah, that's where I was going with that. Feminists, they like to say, men, you shouldn't view women as a sex object. But the top profession they're cheering women on to do is being treated like a sex object on OnlyFans. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want treated like a respectable human being and like an equal, go do equal work to a respectable man or a respectable woman out there. Because OnlyFans and porn, not respectable. Don't care how much you're making, it's not respectable. But as I said, at least if you were making a lot of money, you could kind of justify it. But it is obviously a lucrative business for a lot if they're making that much money, but it's really despicable too because a lot of the managers, it's men, manage these women, and it's like modern day pimp and prostitution, just online through OnlyFans, and it's legal. So, um, yeah, That's what it is. Modern day prostitution. And these women, yeah, they're making good money, a lot of them, but ultimately they're paying a lot of it to OnlyFans and the managers that are managing them. So it's a L for both the men purchasing and watching these Thots on OnlyFans, and an L for the girls doing it. And why are they doing it? Because they have no other skill in life. They can't do anything else other than be on their backs and used as a sex object. So this Lily Phillips will share a little clip here, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. A documentary came out. I'm not going to watch it. I only skimmed through a couple of spots because I saw some clips played. Where that she slept with 100 men in 24 hours and claims, she's not going to admit that she feels bad afterward. But as I'll skip to a part in there, you know, she breaks down in tears. Why? Yeah, this is fucked up. Your psyche was not meant to handle this type of shit. And you should not be glorifying it because guess what? Not only, hey, if you wanted to do damage to yourself, obviously you're probably already a pretty damaged person if you're willing to do a challenge like this. But you're going to be promoting this for other girls, especially if you talk about like how much money you might have made doing it. So I'll play a little clip here. Let's see, share screen. All right.
I'm Lily Phillips, and today I'm getting run through by 100 guys.
The world of adult entertainment is $1 billion business.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. First, to start out, how good. I'm getting ran through by 100 guys. Yeah, good to brag about. So that's all I'm going to play there, and I'm going to skip to the part where they're interviewing her at the end.
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
It's not like just
You're a prostitute. You're a prostitute being used as a sex object and nothing more. I'll explain it for you.
having sex with someone.
yeah, just one in, one out. Like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Really?
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
So yeah, right there, it's all clicking finally. Because it probably was just traumatizing and she couldn't really process it. It was just happening in the moment. And right there, being asked the question, interviewed, it's finally like reality setting in. And probably very overwhelming. And she's like regretting it. She's not going to admit she's regretting it, but she's regretting it. And if she's not regretting it now, in 5 to 10 years, she's definitely going to be regretting it. Because I can guarantee you, she is not going to have a happily ever after. Like I said, some loser simpy dude might, be willing to fucking put a ring on it, but she's not going to be happy. It's not going to be an ideal dude she wants to be with. No respectable man would get with and marry a chick that's now known for sleeping with 100 guys in 24 hours, and now she wants to go for the record of 1,000.
I think I was when I talked to you last, like I was not nervous. It was like the day before. I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. But it was good. It was more, I guess the interactions weren't like, I'd have to stop them early and like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like they didn't, like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough.
2 minutes is plenty time. Am I right, fellas? Yeah, sorry, put a little joke.
Time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like what, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Like, kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I felt bad.
So now she's playing victim here. And a lot of I didn't even get to that. There's news articles out, of course, by female feminists, claiming this chick here is the victim and shame on these predatory men for being a part of this. Well, hey, I'll agree with you. Shame on these men. Like, can you imagine being the dude who, I mean, even if you're involved in it, period, but at least if you're like number 1 or number 5, you're like, okay, but imagine being number 90. This takes a different kind of dude, too. Like, if you were to tell me, hey, got this pretty good looking chick here, 89 other dudes have been in her so far. You're next, buddy. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. Who would do that? So, yeah, I agree. These dudes are fucked up and weird, and shame on them. But she's the one who put it together. She's the one who's a fucking thought trying to make a bunch of money off of some totally degenerate behavior. So, no, it's ultimately shame on her, not the dudes. Now, dudes, yeah, don't be involved in shit like this. It's degenerate. But she's not a victim here.
Like, some people just travel so far. Like, I didn't want to give them a shit time and like come away from this and be like, oh, that was shit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic.
I can guarantee you, I don't know, I'd be interested in all the dudes being interviewed now. I can guarantee you it was not enjoyable for any of them.
Like, I think like the 30th, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this. And like, it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, like it's not like normal things at all.
Disassociate. See, it hadn't even like hit her, because why? Her psyche was not meant to handle something like this.
In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it.
Think about that. She just did 100 dudes in a row. She maybe remembers 5 of them. The rest are a blur.
But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, But yeah, I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when
Yeah, yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
Don't use the Lord's name in vain here, thought. Because that is all you are, thought. So, yeah, that is how degenerate it's gotten nowadays, that I don't think a lot of the older generation even understands that anybody would be doing something like this. But there are, I don't know how many people are on OnlyFans, but there's a lot. And this is what a lot of women are turning to make quick money. Thanks, feminism. And I'm going to play one other thing that I thought was funny. One of the comedians, Jeff Dye, posted on his Instagram. But it's another fucking OnlyFans thought, I'm assuming, posting some of their stuff. And his response to it is awesome, because this is exactly the type of challenge that these thoughts should be shooting for. But instead, they're trying to get more and more crazy and just lunatic. Lunacy. It's lunacy. So let me queue up this one. Share screen. All right.
I was just thinking, I'm on pace to hit 365 bodies in 365 days. But then this leaves me to think, what am I going to do next year?
Here's something you could try. How about you fuck just one person? That'd be a challenge, huh? Just pick one person you like and respect so much that you just fuck them. You know, someone you like so much that you know the name of, and you don't have to refer to them as a body or some dude that railed you. Now, I know this isn't going to get you clicks and it won't get you likes. Fucking just one person isn't going to get you much respect from your fellow whores, but it might be a lot more healthy mentally and physically, and it might be a lot more rewarding. But what do I know? I'm just some middle-aged, straight white male that you're not going to listen to. So enjoy all the whoring and the fucking around. Go have fun with your fucking. And yeah, enjoy your liberated pussy.
So I'm
All right. So yeah, his response was absolutely perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's why I was like, I'll just let it play and let him say it. Because that's exactly the end there. You're liberated pussy. Feminism. That's what feminists try to tell these women. You're liberated. Sexual revolution. Go, have fun, girl. You're liberated. But then again, don't treat us like sex objects. Well, sorry. If you're treating yourself as a sex object in your daily life and making money off it, that's what I'm going to view you as. You're nothing else. And yeah, 365 bodies in 365 days. Not something to be bragging about. Kind of gross. And that's the type of women that are out here. So, I talked about in previous episodes, like chances of marriage, working out or not if you've had this amount of partners. That was single digit amount of partners. And once you got to double digits, it was a high likelihood of not being in a lasting marriage, let alone triple digit bodies that these chicks are hitting in just 1 year. Or this fucking first one, Lily Phillips, she hit triple digits in 1 day. And I think I think she's the same one. It started out, she was on spring break and slept with like 20 something dudes over spring break or something. And then now she's just chasing that dragon, chasing that clout on social media, trying to get that next challenge for the money. But you know what? Money isn't everything. It's really not. It would be a little more understandable if you're just, homeless. You got no roof over your head. You can't get a job because you're living out on the streets. You don't have a home. You don't have an apartment. You don't have parents who support you. They're out of your life. No family, no support system. Not saying it's good, but at least in that sense, it'd be like, okay, you know, you had nowhere else to turn. You decided to get involved in this type of stuff. I'm not condoning it, but at least okay. No, I think she talks to both her parents still. That one, which shame on the parents. Wouldn't talk to my child anymore if they were doing that. And they're probably, that's another thing that we talk about. We talk about this generation of people doing this type of stuff. There's a whole generation of parents that are just okay with it because it's going to buy them nice things. Greed. I'm sorry, but your morals should kick in. You don't have to be a super religious person to realize this is wrong. It's gross. It's despicable. It's degenerate. It's not good for society. It's not good for the psyche. All these girls are going to have mental health issues. They probably already got them, but they're definitely going to have them in the future. They're probably not going to find an ideal guy to settle down with. Feminism tells them don't worry about it, but I'm sorry. Later in life, they're going to regret it. They're going to regret it. 95% of the time, I'll be generous here. They're probably all going to regret it. But they're just going to be viewed as a sex object and nothing more for the rest of their life. Then, if they do somehow get some loser simp to marry them and settle down and have kids, they're going to have to explain this to their children. And their children are going to get bullied in school. Hey, look, your mom's this one that got 100 guys in 24 hours. Yeah, that's going to cause problems with the psyche of their children, depression, and a bunch of other crap. It's just a cascading effect of stuff that's completely unnecessary and doesn't need to be happening. It's degenerate. Don't do it. So, this episode we made a little quick, short, and sweet. Just wanted to kind of, give some people an idea of the kind of degeneracy that is out there. Because if you're not online, not on social media, you don't really pay attention to stuff, you don't have any idea. It's probably like, porn exists in that, but these chicks are out here trying to do a dude a day, or like that adds up to a dude a day, 365 in a year, or 100 guys in 24 hours. And these chicks are getting notoriety online, which is just going to make other girls want to try to do it to get some notoriety online. So stay away from it. Parents, do a better job at raising your kids. Don't be completely overbearing, but, put your foot down and do not tolerate this type of behavior. It is degenerate and it does nothing to help society at all. Men, go work out, hit the gym, build some confidence, and stop paying these Thots for their Onlyfans. Because I don't know why any of you would. Talk to women in real life, not online. Okay? I know. It's really not that hard, guys. It's really not that hard. Approach women in real life and don't be an awkward creep. So we'll end this one here. Till next time. Trad West Podcast out.